Today in this video, we're going to talk about money orders versus canceled checks and why the money order may not be the best way for you to pay your rent and pay your bills. Check it out. Hi, I'm Rhonda Burgess, and I'm a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and my firm is Southern Living Realty Partners. Okay, let me tell y'all something. This one right here, this story right here, this hits real close to home because this is happening here in Tennessee. This happened here in Tennessee. Okay, so what had happened was I saw the story, and I saw it on the news too, but I saw it in my local news feed. These people have been living in an apartment complex. They live in an apartment complex, okay? And every month, they was paying their rent by money order. And I know a lot of people pay their rent by money order because I know that a lot of these apartments and management companies, you know, that if you're not paying by check, for those who do still accept checks, because I know my daughter's apartment still accept checks, because I write a check to them every month, you know, for her rent. Even though she gives me the money, I write her a check because I don't want her paying with money orders. It's just me. So, you know, and then a lot of them have an online portal that they ask you to pay your rent through, okay? And that's going to pull it directly out of your bank account and pay the rent. In my opinion, I'm just telling you as an underwriter and just watching, you know, just as a regular consumer what's going on. I think it's best that you either pay your rent by check or if they have that online portal where you can pay your rent, do it that way. Because let me tell you what had happened to these people here in Tennessee. They dropped the money orders in a little box, in a little slot at the apartment complex. They've been doing it like that for years, no problem. Everything's cool. They going on about their business. Well, what was happening was they had one of the people who worked in the office, one of the property management people, was stealing the money orders. She had took the money orders. And at first, okay, it had you thinking that these people had dropped just a blank money order in there, you know, signed their name, their apartment number, and just put it in the slot. And so she was taking them and depositing them in her account. No, what was actually happening was they had it made out to the management company and she was washing, just like, you know, they wash your checks. They tell you not to put checks in the mailbox, right? Because people come by, you know, you put the outgoing mail in your mailbox with your little flag up. People coming by snatching your mail out your mailbox, then they washing that check. So they getting the two, whoever you wrote it to, they getting it off of there and they putting in their own name or whatever so that they can cash your check. This person at the management office was doing the same thing. Okay. So these people, then they come back talking about, oh, your rent late. They was like, no, dude, I dropped my rent off. I dropped it off. Okay. So they eventually figured out which employee it was taking the money. But I'm going to tell you how it gets even more stupid. So then the management said, well, oh, that's not our fault. You're going to need to repay that rent where their employee stole the money. Okay. She stole it from those money orders, put in her own account, went on about her business. The management company came back and told these renters, but you're going to have to make that up by the end of 23. You're going to have to pay extra to make that up because it's not the management company's money until we receive it and it's made out to us. So they tried to make it seem like the people had just dropped blank money orders in the slot, right? So one of the renters, he gets them from the post office. He goes to the post office, does a trace on it, and they show it was made out to the management company. It was made out to the apartment, right? And so he's like, dude, no, I gave it to you. That's your employee who stole it. That don't have nothing to do with me because it was made out to the management company and she washed that money order and cashed it or whatever. And then they were still last I saw, they were still going back and forth trying to make these people pay for the money that the employee has stole. So when the news, you know how your investigative reporters and everybody get on it, and then the management company was trying to backpedal, talking about, okay, we gonna look into it, we'll see what we can do, but we want the renters to understand we're out this money too, but that's your employee. That's your employee. That's what they got to do with somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? And they've been paying they rent that same way the whole time. So here's another example of why sometimes that money order ain't the best way. It ain't the best way. And I know they could do the same thing. They could wash the check and do it the exact same way. I will say this though, if somebody's gonna wash your check, and believe me, because I've had to run down money orders before, it takes a while to run down that money order, even if you get it from the postal service. But let's say you getting it from somewhere else, like you going to your local gas station or whatever, and you getting or wherever you getting a money order from. You understand what I'm saying? So it takes longer to run down a money order than it do to run down your check, your canceled check, because normally, like I know I get an alert every day when the check is cleared. And I can pull it up and see who that check was made out to. So if she would have been washing checks as opposed to money orders, they would have seen that, okay, I made my check out to ABC Management Company or ABC Apartments, but it's coming back Jane Doe, that I made it out to Jane Doe. I ain't never made nothing out to Jane Doe. And I can show you my other canceled checks for every month where I make my payment out to ABC Management, and I don't know who Jane Doe is. All I'm saying is it'll save you a lot of legwork and a lot of time. Or pay it through the portal. Because when you pay it through the portal, I know I would assume that there's not a whole lot of different ways for that type of check washing or money order washing to go on when it's being pulled directly out of your account. Now, then they would have had to seen that she was pulling the money out of the business account. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see how that could happen that often or that easily if it was as opposed to the money orders or the canceled checks. So, and from an underwriting standpoint, let me say this. It's a whole lot easier and it's a whole lot more believable when, let's say you're paying to a private landlord, right? And in a video I did previously, I talked about how we get a verification of rent as an underwriter. We get a verification of rent on every file, okay? It's much easier for you to give me 12 months worth of bank statements and circle that big canceled check on there every month, or you paid through the portal. And so every month out of 12 months, you done highlighted the line where you paid your rent. That's much easier for me. It's much, much, much easier for me, okay, to verify, yeah, they paid their rent on time. They paid their rent on time every time. And you have a likelihood of less problems when you're paying with a check or you're paying through the portal or whatever, as opposed to somebody, again, washing your money order and just essentially taking your money, taking your hard-earned money. Now, I'm gonna follow up on this story because, like I told you, last I saw, once the investigative reporters jumped in, they was backing off on the people having to, make up this difference, pay double rent, and get it caught up by the end of the year. But just know that stuff like this happens all the time. So the best way, in my opinion, to keep that from happening is either pay it with a check, if you can do a check, or pay it through your online portal with your management company. Again, my name is Rhonda Burgess, and I am a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. If this video has been of use to you, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you, and as always, have a blessed day.